G'day and welcome back to the Project 200 series. I've got another maintenance video today, this time covering the replacement of the automatic transmission fluid, or ATF. As with many modern vehicles, the 200's ATF is supposedly a lifetime fluid. There's no simple way to check it or replace it, but it most certainly should be done. In typical conditions, I'd suggest changing it at least every 80 to 100,000 kilometres. Toyota specify a WS type fluid for the 200. Having read through the specifications and properties of various WS compatible fluids, I'd suggest using one of the alternative fully synthetic products over Toyota's genuine mineral based WS fluid. I'm personally going to be using Penrite ATF LV, but there are several other alternatives listed on the Project 200 website. The specifications for these fluids suggest that they begin to break down at substantially higher temperatures than Toyota's fluid, providing much better protection under extreme conditions. It is absolutely vital that you use a compatible fluid in the 200's transmission. Using the wrong one could cause serious damage, so check the Project 200 website for a list of suitable fluids. Changing the ATF isn't like changing the engine oil. It's essentially impossible to drain all of the fluid out because some always remains in the lines and the torque converter. The best you can do is change over as much as possible by doing multiple drains and refills. What I'll be doing is essentially a manual version of the machine transmission flush, which is a service offered by many workshops. The downside of a machine flush is that the machine lines typically contain residue of incompatible ATF types, which could cause minor contamination of your fluid during the procedure. The manual process is messier and takes longer, but it ensures no contamination. I certainly won't be using a cleaning or flushing fluid, and neither should you. For the same reason you can't get all the ATF out, you also can never remove all the cleaning fluid. Some of it will be in there forever, reducing the protective qualities of the transmission fluid. I'd suggest buying 12 litres of automatic transmission fluid to achieve a high level of fluid replacement. Begin with the vehicle on a hard level surface with the wheels chocked to prevent any movement. Then climb under the vehicle and remove the transmission bash plate, whether it's an aftermarket version like this or the standard factory plate like this one. Then clean the transmission pan by wiping it over to remove dirt and dust. Pay particular attention to the areas near the drain and overflow plugs. Also wipe around the fill plug located on the side of the transmission near the drive shaft and the drive shaft itself. Then, using a 24mm socket, loosen the fill plug. I'm leaving it in place to minimise the chance of contamination. Now it's time to drain the transmission pan. Place a clean, graduated measuring jug of at least 4 litres capacity under the drain plug. Then remove the plug using a 14mm socket and allow all of the fluid to drain out. On a diesel 200 there should be around 3.1 litres of fluid. Then replace the drain plug, reusing the original crush washer and tension it to around 20 Nm. I'll be replacing the crush washer later in the video. Using a second clear measuring jug, pour in exactly the same amount of new fluid as you just drained from the transmission. You can then empty out the used fluid into a waste oil container for disposal. I'm using a small 12-volt oil transfer pump to refill the transmission. You'll find a link in the video description and the Project 200 website. Remove the fill plug and insert the end of the output hose from the pump. Then drop the inlet hose into your jug of new fluid. Connect the power and pump the entire contents of the jug into the transmission. Much easier than doing it by hand. The next step is to extract the old fluid that's currently in the lines and the oil cooler before it's pumped back into the pan to contaminate the new fluid. To do this, move to the opposite side of the transmission and locate the 2 small rubber hoses that connect between the transmission and the oil cooler lines. The top line is the one we want to disconnect. Remove the hose clamp, then wipe the rubber and metal hoses over before sliding the rubber hose up and off the metal cooler pipe. You can then run a piece of clear 10mm vinyl hose over the exhaust heat shield and slip it onto the metal cooler pipe, sliding it over the flare to ensure it doesn't come off. The hose needs to be long enough so that you can put it in the drain jug, which you place on the ground just outside the driver's door. Then start the engine and move the gear lever through all the gears, including S1 to S6. As you do this, watch the fluid level in the drain jug. Shift back to park and turn off the engine when it reaches around 1.7 litres. Then refill your clean jug with exactly the same amount of fresh fluid that you've just removed. Go back under the vehicle and pump the fresh fluid back into the fill hole. Watch out for the exhaust pipe, which could be warm. Repeat this procedure another 2 times, removing and replacing around 1.7 litres each time. On the last occasion, disconnect the vinyl hose and drain it into the dirty fluid jug. By now, almost all of the old fluid in the lines will have been extracted. You can now reconnect the factory rubber hose to the oil cooler pipe and replace the hose clamp. Now take the vehicle for a short drive. Again, move the gear lever through park, reverse, neutral, drive and S1 to S6 to ensure the fluid flows through all the components of the transmission. After the drive, let the vehicle cool back down for an hour or so. Then drain the transmission pan for a second time. Once the fluid is drained, reinstall the drain plug, this time using a brand new crush washer, and tension it to 20 Nm. Again, measure the amount of fluid removed, but this time I suggest you put back 100 to 200 ml more fluid than you removed. This will allow for any losses that you've had during the flushing process. It's much easier to add a little too much fluid now than have to repeat the check level procedure later on. Pump the new fluid in through the fill hole, then replace the fill plug including a new O-ring and tension to 39 Nm. Now it's time to check the fluid level. This has to be done with the vehicle parked on a level surface with the fluid temperature between 41 and 46 degrees Celsius. If you have an ultra gauge, then viewing the pan temperature is easy. If not, then Toyota have a procedure to check that the temperature is correct. First, connect a wire between pins 4 and 13 of the OBD2 connector located under the steering column. Then start the engine and slowly move from park through reverse, neutral, drive, S1 to S6 and back to park to circulate the fluid throughout the transmission. Then move the lever to drive, then back and forth between neutral and drive for 6 seconds. You'll see the drive indicator come on for a couple of seconds, then go out. You can then move the gear lever back to park and leave the vehicle idling. Now disconnect the wires from the OBD2 port and keep an eye on the dash display. When the transmission reaches 41 degrees, the drive indicator will illuminate, even though the vehicle is still in park. This means the transmission fluid is now at the correct temperature for checking. If the D light flashes instead of staying on, then it means the transmission fluid is above 46 degrees, which is too hot. You'll have to turn off the car and let it cool for an hour or two, then repeat the procedure. With the vehicle still idling in park, climb back under the car, remembering to watch out for hot components. Have a new crush washer ready, and then remove the check plug using a 5mm Allen key. Allow fluid to flow out until it reduces to a small trickle. The level is now correct and the check plug can be refitted with a new crush washer. Torque it to 20 Nm. If no fluid comes out, then you'll have to add a few 100 mils, then repeat the check procedure. Finally, replace the bash plate and the job is done. I hope you found the 200 series transmission fluid change video useful. As you can see, the fluid was quite contaminated, and as the flush proceeded, it became cleaner and cleaner. So despite what Toyota say, it's well worth changing the fluid at least every 100,000 kilometres. There's a full list of compatible fluids and the service parts you'll require on the Project 200 website. See you next time.